Last week when we said that we'd be 3-7 and it'd be hard to think about, did we actually think that it would happen?
Absolutely not. We did not think we'd be in this place of 3-7, especially given our opponents in week 5.
We're about to jump into 100 Thieves versus Optic, and we're here to see if the Thieves can get past the eyes of Optic.
So early game against Optic went a lot better than expected. I think we knew we could get a lead, but I did not think it'd be kind of like a game-ending lead.
This is gonna be a tough one on Saturday. Good spell shield. Oh, he goes right into the face. He says, "This is my house."
But I was really kind of surprised, like happily surprised, that we were actually able to pull like really far ahead of Optic, especially because their early game has been kind of like notoriously strong. So it was kind of a good test that like this is what we've been practicing for so long, and we had like a good time to show it.
Baron goes down. Sunday's able to get Baron, and now it's gonna be a resurrection onto Dokla. They're still in the fight, and bang. He's able to pull the trigger, does not take him down.
Baron this early is like a big enough snowball where by the time Baron spawns again, it's gonna be kind of uncontestable by the enemy team. And then the next play would probably be around Baron again, because I think they wouldn't leave their base after that ever.
This is bang, but he knows the shutdown. Medios is in. You better be paranoid, baby. Who he's on the run. Baron is there, and he is the only member with the buff. Fight is over.
So I would say a lot of it comes down to discipline and awareness, because I think those two kind of go hand in hand. If you accept like, cool, usually you don't use Baron to chase in a team fight or force a team fight. You usually use it to like take towers or objectives.
He'll back very quickly. Oh, wait, that's the Tom Kent.
No, but the Voyage in. They also had a Simmer.
Dokla's gonna stop him.
It's the start of the back game. Dokla doing what he can. A nice frost ring coming in from Hui to try and stop him. Nexus is getting hit up. Optic can see the win, and Optic take down 100.
I think the reason why I went on stage is because I needed them to still have the same emotions they had in game and remember this loss. Like remember how it felt, remember the parts that went wrong, how we felt when those parts went wrong. Make sure this was like just really drilled into their memory. And since it's such a rare occurrence for me to go on stage, this is kind of one of the moments I wanted to take to do that.
I haven't really felt like we're a team yet. Like we're just 5 players that are together. Like if you do this wrong, I got you. Like I got you covered. If someone is behind, like everyone trying to help that guy, or like understanding that that guy is behind him purposely. But I haven't really felt like we are a team yet.
TP, I can TP. You want me TP? I can TP, I'm TPing. You can maybe look. Can someone else TP?
Oriana's ulti.
Let me TP, I'm not gonna follow.
Oriana flash.
Play slow, play
Take a slow. I have no lantern, no lantern.
But
he'll be taken down instead. The slam dunk comes in.
There's a lot of times we're not on the same page or miscommunicate to each other. So then those times we look really bad in our play. So
Pretty sure they're on it right now. Yeah, they start, I think.
yeah.
5K.
We can just look to fight. Just look to fight, and they might stop it.
Can you put the
I think they're on it.
I'm gonna take it right here. Back up.
Just try to back up.
Try to leave. Back.
They're dead.
Yeah, they shouldn't do it. They can try.
Liquid match was pretty upsetting because we showed that we're like absolutely the worst team. It was pretty terrible because we didn't do anything. You know, we just like accepted like, okay, you guys get to win this game.
Turret under siege, already taken down before the Thieves can even get in position to deal with it. Shotgun not gonna find much of anything. Everybody from the Thieves still alive, but ever so barely. Nexus now gonna be the target. Team Liquid doesn't even need the kill. Someday runs in. He's finally got the stop once, but it's too damn little, too damn late, and Team Liquid will start the second round robin, just like the first.
We kind of just let that happen, as opposed to at least we're trying something to stay in it, or at least we're like making suboptimal trades, but we're, you know, practicing something. It felt really demoralizing to lose that way.
Last 2 weeks definitely been stressful. We've been doing triple block every week, at least 2 to 3 days for sure. So definitely been putting our head down on the grind, but results haven't really been showing on stage. It's rough losing a lot for sure, but all I can do is look forward to to the upcoming matches and hopefully, changing the theme of how we've been performing.
The biggest thing that happened is we need to change the way we're practicing because our scrim results are actually doing pretty decent. I'm not gonna say we're winning everything like you hear a lot, but they're just not reflective of how we're playing on stage. So it's not even the results are great, but it's just the way we're playing is two ways.
You say I have legs that need to grow.
So we started moving around academy players to the LCS roster. This kind of was a good time because the academy players are all very, very new, so they definitely needed time to adjust to the competitive climate. At that same time, we were just performing poorly in LCS. So at that point, it felt just too much like the logical decision.
Yo, he's gonna jump in, no ulting. He's dead.
Nice. Push, big. And you can try Drake too after. I think we don't have to find best every situation in league, in game. So, but we have to do on the same pace, I think. So we have to more help each other.
100% happen, I say. You can be, but you can try like that, but it's not 100% help, yeah.
So I get to push them.
Yeah. What?
You get to push.
Yeah. So I mean, you wanna watch that, because you can always do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm watching you. Alright.
So we push, bounce, 3. That's one.
Scrims are always going to be a little different. I think most teams in scrims play more towards their limit and push themselves, to be aggressive, to see, how the matchup or this play actually goes and how far they can take it. And once we get on stage where you play a lot more passive, right? Scared of making a mistake, throwing your team the game. And right now we're suffering from that. It feels like, we're not really proactive.
I can come slow, I can come now. Yeah, enemy bleeds up.
Show me we can do this with restraint, with discipline. Right? This is not a mistake that only happens in scrims. Happens in stage 2. This is our time to fix it. And with having so many veterans, it's really a frustration that we can't translate this properly. Even the emotional side feels really strange when we're on stage. And again, with more veteran players, this should feel very natural at this point. So that's when it kind of that's kind of when I came to the realization this is not just a slight change. This needs to start being a bigger change. We need to move a lot differently. No, yeah, because outer game really does feel like a team, and we can work really well. But once we get in game on stage, it feels different. Something's shifted, and we're not all there together. Now, there's really no excuse for kind of the throws that we did. It wasn't because we were losing before and we had anxiety and how we closed or anything. I don't think it was anything complex other than we needed to have more awareness, or we had to have more discipline. We had to have one of those, and we didn't have either of them. And that kind of led to these big mistakes kind of snowballing out of control. No, I mean, it's definitely not just one player, and it really is a mix of chemistry between the players in game. But I know we can't change everything at once, so kind of approaching a solution, we need to kind of find what is fixable fastest, and that's mostly what the changes are looking for. This is not really a pick and choose scenario. This is kind of no one is really free from criticism in this situation. We're 3-7, and it really can't be only the players, and it has to be me and coaching staff included. So it could be honestly the chemistry that I bring to the team, bringing the players together. It's just not working. They don't respond to my coaching style. So running through iterations of am I the problem? What can we do about that? Going through each player, going through me. I mean, nothing's really off the table anymore because we're just doing so poorly, and it's just most important to make this team work. instead of make one individual work, and that includes me.
And it feels like this Saturday may be a turning point for both Clutch and Heart of Thieves. It feels like this is a must-win. That's the other team. Whoever loses is in sole possession of last place. Whoever wins, moves up one win, and it's going to be tied with some of those teams.
It's very fair. We have to lower our expectations at this point because we failed to meet ours in the beginning of the split, and now we don't get to say like, all right, we're still going to go first in MSI. It's like we need to take a lot shorter steps right now.
That 3v5 that you guys had was absurd. Like,
Oh, it's kind of wow.
yeah, like unbelievable.
If we play correctly from just now, then I think we can win. Makes me really comfortable, but it's not too happy because little pressure every single person, like with 7 lose.
A lot of head scratchers coming out, and obviously this still needs fixed too, but I feel like unless you have this as the foundation, this is the house, Kobe.
I'm agreeing.
And this is the land you gotta build the house on. We gotta get the foundation level before we build the house.
I want to be a landowner. I'm going with that as well. All right.
We're going with that.
I think honestly speaking, if it's a question of do we think we'll make a playoff, I want to make it happen, and I believe that all my teammates are willing to make that happen too. I feel like we have to try harder than other teams. We have to put more work on than other teams. Basically improve faster than other teams to get there. And I think if those things happen, we can make it to playoff.
Yeah, I really just want to say a lot of discipline, effort, and hard work, because that's all you can really do. Can't really blame anyone else but yourself when things are going south. I'm gonna do what I can, do my best to help the team go in the right direction towards discipline, our style, making sure we're on the same page so that we're able to execute and start winning some games.
We have to literally just be dying to make this work at this point. No one gets to be comfortable anymore and have some kind of balanced anything. We have to sacrifice our days to make this work. We're gonna have to push harder when it sucks and when we hate it. So I think a lot of the rest is gonna have to be sectioned off. And at least when we're actually in work, it needs to be well over 100%. If we're practicing at 90%, I think we're not gonna get there. So everyone has to be putting much more than is expected from the beginning of the split or even now.